Hello and welcome to another Performance Architects webinar snippet. These snippets include excerpts of webinars that are accessible by going to our website at www.performancearchitects.com and registering for our Learning Center, a community and forum for on-demand business education in the business intelligence and enterprise performance management arenas and related topics. Performance Architects is a business and technology consulting company that helps companies initiate and sustain big changes in their performance management and business intelligence environments and processes. Head over to our channel after this video or come back in the future to learn best practices, hear overviews, and take part in lessons we have designed to help you. We're focused on continuing to develop this community, and we welcome any recommendations you might have for future content. Thanks and enjoy.
So before I turn it over to Sin, why is this webinar important? At the end of the day, your strategy is how you spend your money, regardless of what industry segment you're in. And most organizations plan strategy with a grand book that then ends up on their shelf somewhere and don't translate that into the day-to-day operations of the organization through the planning process. And that's really what we're talking about today, which is linking your strategy to your day-to-day processes and efforts through planning. Most organizations' planning systems, however, are really not adequate to respond to the major changes that have been going on in today's environment. So there's really, as you may know and experience yourselves, minimal to no controls on information. Many times plans are in spreadsheets that are sent around an organization and shared, but really not secure or tracked. Second, because plans oftentimes live in spreadsheets or other formats, which are really an inefficient and slow way to get information around and to consume it, there's usually a very slow reaction time to major changes. And as we all know with the last few years and what's happened in the capital markets, we don't have the luxury of having that slow reaction time anymore. And finally, because we're putting information in a format that's really not very efficient, our workers are spending too much time collecting data and really not enough time analyzing information. The Syracuse case study demonstrates how to achieve the benefits of implementing a new planning system and process to address all of these issues. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sin Carnahan to talk about her case study. Take it away, Sin.
Thanks, Kirby. Just to kind of give a general overview of what Syracuse University looks like, so I think it's really important to understand our strategy at the university based on the type of revenue and expense that we essentially have as an inflow and outflow within our organization. So just a brief overview of what we look like. We're predominantly tuition-centered university. Our enrollment is about 2,407 students. That was for 2010. A majority of our revenue comes from tuition or student-generated fees. We also have only about 15% of our university resources that come from sponsored research, teaching, or also gifts from donors or endowment distribution. On the expense side, or the use side, as we refer to it as under RCM, a preponderance of our expenditures are personnel or fringe benefit related, or also financial aid related, resulting from our dependence on tuition. So we essentially have full-time faculty of about 981. We also supplement that obviously with part-time faculty and adjunct faculty. We have staff of about 3,306 full-time, and then part-time staff and student employees of about 370 for the part-time staff, and a magnitude more of student employees as well. From the financial aid side, almost 2/3 of our students actually receive financial aid, and it's a huge piece of our expenses, accounting for over $178 million of just university-funded, tuition dollar-funded financial aid. So this gives you just a general sense of what our university looks like and the sources and expenditures that we essentially transact and process through. And that those sources really kind of represent the overall strategy that we partake going from year to year.